Welcome back to MQ Sews. I'm Emma. I look a little bit funny today because I've hurt my neck and I've got a heat pack on, so apologies for looking a bit weird. Today's video is a little bit different. I'm wanting to join in with Carole from Sew Carole's Fabric Wheel of Fate. Today is going to be the first video in my little series of that. Carole always says she puts fabrics on the wheel that she has had in her stash and she keeps passing over or doesn't know what to do with them. So I've tried to do the same thing, and instead of 6 like Carole has, I've just chosen 5, and I'm hoping that I can get through 5 fabrics for this little mini series. Carole also always chooses fabrics that are season appropriate, and I've done some of that. I don't mind sewing for other seasons during the year. I don't have to sew for winter just because it's winter here. I'm just going to sew what I feel like sewing, so I decided to put in a variety of different fabrics to accommodate my love of sewing whatever I feel like. I'm going to start off by talking about the different fabrics that I've chosen to include in my Fabric Wheel of Fate. This is the first time I've ever joined in with something like this, and I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing what I can come up with. And hopefully what I come up with can inspire you to look at some of the fabrics that you have sitting in your stash a little bit differently and work out what to do with them. So I'm going to start with this one. This one is actually fairly new to my stash. I only picked this one up from the swaps table at the April Australian Sewing Guild meeting. It is quite sheer. Hello, I can see you. So I would like to work out what I'd like to do with this one. I have a couple of sheer fabrics like this and I can see myself using the other ones for specific things, so I pulled this one out because I'm not really sure what to do with it. I'm not sure how much of this one I've got, but it feels like a lot. I'd say 2 meters and 20 centimeters, something like that, so I can pretty much make whatever I want with that. Exciting. The next fabric is this one. It is a flocked chiffon that I bought from Spotlight. It is also see-through. Quite a bit more see-through, I think. It's got really beautiful texture. I really like the colour. It's one of my favourite colours, pink. Yeah, I'd really like to work out something to make with this one. I've got 2 meters and I have no idea what I want to make with it, so that will be interesting. The next one I actually got in June-ish last year from the Australian Sewing Guild swaps table. It is a seersucker. I've wanted to use it over summer. I had no idea what to make with it and I still have no idea what to make with it. So that one's going on the wheel as well. It's quite a narrow fabric, so that will affect what I'm able to make. About 2.5 meters, and I'll have to work out what I'm going to make with that one. Next we get to the wintry type fabrics. So they were all the not so wintry type fabrics, but next one is wintry. This one, which is a knit fabric, a French terry. I also got this one from the Australian Sewing Guild swap table, but I got this one probably around May-ish last year. It doesn't have a lot of stretch in it that way, but it has more stretch that way. I'd say about 10 to 25% stretch. And I have a lot of it. It is heavy and it is quite narrow. I'd say it's about 1 meter wide and 4.5 meters, so plenty of that one. Whatever I don't use, I'm assuming there'll be a bit left over. If I can't think of anything to make with the rest of it, I might put it back on the swaps table for somebody else to have a go with. That's the good thing about the swaps table. You can take stuff off, use a bit of it and put it back if you have finished using it and there's enough left for somebody else. So I'll have to see what I come up with for that one. Last on my Fabric Wheel of Fate will be this one, which also is a sweater knit type fabric. It's fleecy on the back. This one has absolutely no stretch, just the mechanical stretch of the fabric. And again, I have heaps of this one. In August, November sometime, or maybe it was September, I don't know, there was a Australian Sewing Guild retreat and it was on the swaps table there and I picked it up. I just really liked the colour. It's my type of blue. This one is, I'd say, 115, 120 centimetres wide, so 3.5 meters of this one. The thickness of this one is deceiving because I thought there was more of this one than this one, so I was wrong. I'm going to the Australian Sewing Guild's retreat. Our region has a retreat once or twice a year. It's a 2-day retreat, so you go on the first day, set up your machines, you sew all day, you leave your stuff all there, you go home, you sleep, and you go back and you continue sewing until that night, and then you pack everything up and you go home. So it's 2 days of sewing. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm not going to let my sore neck keep me away, and I'd really like to sew up the first item that I plan to make for the fabric wheel of fate. So I'm going to go and spin the wheel now, so I'll put that footage in and we'll all see what comes up. So I'm starting with this one. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can come up with to make with this one. I'll be back to let you know how I went. Hi. I've had a think about what I might like to make with the fabric that the wheel chose. I've already packed it up and cut it out, but I thought I would come on and tell you what I decided to make. I've been wanting to make the Seamwork Amari sweatshirt for quite a while. This is one of the jumpers I wanted to make this winter, so I've decided this is the perfect fabric and the perfect time to give it a go. So it's already all cut out and packed and ready to go to the retreat and sew up. I'm looking forward to that. I did jump on to Magic Mockup, which is a free app created by the makers of Stash Hub. So have a look at what it could look like when it's finished. I'm a little bit excited about making this one up, so hopefully it all works out. I'll be back to tell you how it went. It worked out. I'm wearing my new Amari sweater. It wasn't all smooth sailing, so let me tell you all about it. I'll also pop a picture up from the retreat as well, just so you can see what it looked like. It was busy and bustling and heaps of fun. I ended up having an awful sewing weekend. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong that weekend. I was just having an off couple of days sewing, but I did manage to sew up part of this, and I finished it off when I got home, and I sewed up the Mix It Up tee on the first day. It took me all day to make that top. I sewed, unpicked, sewed, unpicked, sewed, unpicked, but that's life sometimes, hey? On the second day, I started sewing up my Amari, and I sewed up bits of it, and I got to the zip part and I realised I'd read the pattern incorrectly, I think, because I brought the wrong length zip. So after discovering that, I was kind of stuck and I had to put it to the side, which was extremely disappointing, but I did come home and finish it the next day. I'm wearing it for the first time today and it's nice and warm and cozy. I made the perfect size. I'm really happy with that. I'll get to telling you a bit more about it in a second. I did make up one other thing, and it was this little foldable shopping bag. It's very small. It's a lot smaller than I assumed it was going to be, but it's really cute. I put a label on it and it says Me Made. It's from the Maker Society. It's really cute. I'll put it here so you can see. You literally just fold the straps down and you fold one side in, the other side in, and roll it up, and then it has this elastic that you sew in and it just slips around, and then it's like all nicely folded up and it can go in your handbag for when you need it. That was the only other thing I made that weekend. Back to my Amari sweater, which I'm loving. I've already gotten a compliment on it, so that makes me happy. Apart from, my boys didn't notice I was wearing anything new, which was a little bit disappointing, but at least I got a comment from a stranger. I made this one up in a size 10 and I graded out to a size 12 at the hips. But other than that, I made a straight size 10 because I knew it was an oversized fit by looking at the finished garment measurements, and I think it's a perfect fit. I've got plenty of room. The only thing I did differently was I added cuffs at the end of the sleeves, and the only thing that doesn't fit is the length of the sleeves. My fingers are inside. So apart from that, it fits perfectly. It's a great length. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm not sure I love it zipped up the whole way, so I don't think I'd wear it like that. And after trying it on, I decided I wouldn't wear it like this. So then I unzipped it to how I thought I probably would wear it. And you could see all of the overlocking stitches at the neckline, and I didn't really like how that looked. So I decided to sew some jersey binding on there, and I ended up using just scraps of the jersey that I used to make the cuffs. Now, the cuffs, I think I'm going to have to cut off and do again because they're a bit big. They don't really hold the jumper in place. So I think I'm going to go in and take out 2 inches, and that should give me a much nicer fit on the cuffs. And it really does depend whether I can gather the sleeve enough for that. Yeah, so on the pattern, the sleeve is just a wide sleeve. You just hem the sleeve up, and I get cold when the wind can go up my sleeves, so that's why I wanted cuffs on it. So I just added my own cuffs, but yeah, I think I'm gonna make them tighter. So we'll see. I'll see if I can be bothered doing that or if I just learn to live with it. That's my first fabric from my Fabric Wheel of Fate finished. I do have leftover fabric, so I'll have to work out what to do with that, whether I decide to make something else with it or whether I take it back to the swaps table. I'd still consider making something else with the fabric because I like the colour on me. Let me know in the comments if you think I chose well for this fabric, or if you have any ideas of what I should make with the rest of it. I think I have about 2 meters left, maybe just over 2 meters left. So I'm going to spin the wheel again and we'll see what fabric I'm going to be using next. This one came up. Yay! I actually have ideas for this one. I'm thinking the fabric feels very boho to me, so I think I'm gonna lean into that and do something boho-ish. But if you have any ideas of what you think I should make with this fabric, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Come back next time and see what I end up making with this. I hope you have a creative day, and I'll see you next time. Bye! And let's start counting. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. After all that faffing around, let's get to it.